Hello, friends and family, lovers and haters. Welcome to Zontopia. This is my world, this is my place, and now I'm going to invite you as my guest to join me into a journey into the land of the next. The next is a new collection I have been working on for the last couple months, and the idea here behind all of these beautiful shapes behind me is that I wanted to create a place. I wanted to create a feeling. I wanted to create a space for myself where I could put all of the things that I was more dear about. They were the things that my dreams, my visions, the things that I really wanted to create. However, based on, boundaries or a lack thereof, I could never allow myself enough time and space to put all of those things together for long enough that would justify the effort, right? So what happened then is that by creating the next collection here, it was my attempt to create a place for myself and for you, because it's a trigger, that you could put all of these most beautiful, dearest things to you inside of. So they could then experience themselves. You could experience it. Your dreams, your wishes, your visions inside of this vessel, this capsule, this bullet kind of place, the time capsule where everything that you want, it's safe in there. And by creating boundaries with this big black fat marker, then you see the lines, you allow yourself the space, not just of physical space, but also mental space of having the freedom to allow all of these things to interact, to glow, to grow, to ferment, to transform amongst themselves. So as you continue to work on this transformation, you will see and remind yourself of where you are. So those are triggers. My idea here is that as you own one of these pieces, prints, originals, bigger ones, smaller ones, whatever, you let me know, right? As you own one of these pieces, your idea, your trigger is going to be, every time that you look at it, the question that you ask yourself, the idea is for you to stop on your tracks and ask yourself, am I creating and feeding my next? Am I paying attention and being present enough to take the time for myself to enforce my boundaries so I can go in there, so I can go into that time capsule, so I can go inside of this space, so I can go inside of this beautiful creation that I wanted to make it bigger of anything and everything that it is out there for you. It could be a new job, it could be a new relationship, it could be improving your relationship, it could be a hobby that you want to start making money of, it could be anything, you name it. You want to buy a new bike, I don't care. All of these things, you put it in there and you create the space for that stuff to happen. You create that space for all of these things to germinate and interact, and then boom. So that's your trigger. Look at them and ask yourself, am I present? Am I creating the space for all of those things to happen in there? Am I allowing myself the space inside of this boundless object in quantum measurements that all of my wishes and desire can manifest? This is the next. The next was started with an idea that I had while I was making just a simple sketch. And this sketch turned out to be this, which gave me the idea of a cocoon, a vessel, a seed, or a place of safety, that inside of it, all of that can germinate and eventually sprout. And because of that, I built these two canvases here. These two. They're made out of wood board and wood frame behind it, so they're really awesome and great, easy to hang. Not light, not heavy at all. As you can see, I'm just holding with one hand, and there's a wire, easy to hang and strong on wood. So I built the frames myself from scratch, from cutting the wood to the frame and everything, nailing it, priming it, getting it all down, because all throughout the process, I am thinking about what it is that I'm creating. My intention is to be always present with these creations, with these paintings, with my art. Behind that, all this, there's hundreds of words that have been written of setting the intention of the piece. As this vessel, as this unit is moving through time and space boundlessly in any direction with limitless fuel, you are inside and traveling. And man, I just absolutely love the collection. So this one started out as a sketch. I wanted to make a sketch of a painting, like a pre-painting. I want to make a sketch of that, so to work on this one here. However, along the way, they all took a life of their own, and I allowed to know. We're going to talk about that one later. I know you're just asked. Wait up. So this one here, you can see the difference between them. Since this one was just a sketch, I felt like so much more free. Like I could explore, like I could allow myself the freedom of trusting what that talent that I have, that gift that I'm working with at this time, to move through time and space as I saw fit. Because it didn't matter. It was just a sketch. The attachment level to it, it wasn't like so restricted or controlled. I allowed myself the space to create. And because of that, you can see that, there's definitely a difference in shapes and structure than that one. And you can see now the textures of this one, the words embedded in there. You can see the background, some of the highlights on the light changing. You can see the textures of the paint, of the surface itself. I love this piece. And then from that one, I shifted and I started working on this guy. And it's amazing, like how much more restricted he was, because I was under so much personal pressure of thinking that he needed to be like the masterpiece of the universe. Like I needed to make the best one ever, because man, this is it. This is the one. And because of that, I was super tight. I was over-analyzing everything that I was doing. I was like really judgmental about every brush stroke that I put down and everything else, because I wanted it to be so perfect that I didn't allow it to come out of me. Like this guy. Don't take me wrong. Eventually, everything shifted and it became what it is now. But man, for the beginning, it was tough. It was tough to interact with it, because my expectation of it was greater than my desire to create it, because I was just so uptight about how it should look like, Once I overcame that, and I understood that the black marker, the big black fat marker, this thing has been pivotal in my art career. Absolutely pivotal. You know why? Because I've learned how to create boundaries with it. Not just for myself, or not just for my art, but also for myself. Now, this is what the black lines represent so boldly in all of these vessels. There are the boundaries. The boundaries that you create for yourself, so everything that's inside of it can just be. Everything that's inside of it, there is no pressure on it for it to become anything at any time frame. Because all that it is all that is beautiful about you. Everything that it is about you that that's already one with everything else in the universe. So there is no anxiety about it. So there is no fear. There's no anger or expectations about it. And because of that, it became like so many tiny little compartments. I mean, take a look. You see all those little textures and the compartments in there, and all sectioned out. However, even though there's so many boundaries and structures and everything on there, you can see how beautifully all of those colors work together. All of those textures just blend in, and then zooming out now, you can see, be like, wow, really have a sense of weight and volume and floating in space and time. And yeah, it is a tight one, but there's all kinds of people out there. You might identify yourself more with a more of a looser, bolder colors kind of personality. Or you might identify yourself with a little bit of more of a controlling analyst personality, with like compartmentalization of things personality. So it's up to you. However, my goal is for it to make you stop. For it to make you stop in your tracks during the day. If you're walking by, it's hanging in your house in the beautiful living room, and you walk by it and it catches your eye, and that's the goal. To make you stop and be like, man, am I creating this right now? Or will I go in there later on? That's it. Because this is the only thing that truly matters, right? Your happiness is going to be based on your level of achievement in your life. And your level of achievement, of course, is only measurable by what it is that is in your heart. What it is that drives you to do that achievement. What is it? What's the reward for you? Maybe it's just a personal satisfaction of seeing something beautiful, that comes out of nowhere. Maybe it's the personal satisfaction of a fat, house with cars everywhere. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's your spirituality. Maybe, you see, it's limitless. It could be anything, and it's all up to you. What I'm offering is a space and a thought for you, regardless if you buy the art ever or not, a print of it or not, save it on your phone as a screensaver. What I'm offering to you is the opportunity and the thought of it for you to think about, man, if I could create this vessel, if this was really true right now, how would it look like? What would I put inside? What would it be made of? What places and realms would it travel through? What kind of things would it collect? This is all there, all available, all yours. And you start with boundaries. By creating boundaries. So the next video is going to be about the Boundary Shield project. The Boundary Shield project. And you understand a little bit more about how to set those boundaries. And what is it that you can use to armor up and protect yourself while you're setting the boundaries. Because that will be the first line of defense or attack to protect the next. Beautiful little gems just floating around in time and space inside of you. Your universe. And because of these two beautiful shapes, these beautiful paintings were created just so passionately and with so much thought and intention behind it, because of that evolved into this next. I see it as, as everything that was inside of it on the other two. Evolved, it germinated, it grew into becoming, this. Evolved into becoming something that is lighter in color. Can you see there's so many less boundaries? Can you see there's like much more harmonious feel? This is the idea here. Is that vessel now, is it started like to crack? Is it started to open? Is it started to morph? And it's starting to become and absorb and turn into one with everything, with a greater light source than ever before. This will be the evolution of what happened here, of all of this gestation period, of this germination, all of this watering. How is it that you nurture those things? How is it that you feed it, right? You feed it with intention, with affirmations. You feed it with gratitude. You feed it with discipline. You feed it with commitment. You feed it with kindness. You feed it with self-love. And then eventually, hopefully, as it continues to grow and germinate and be in its space, is going to transform, and is going to transform you, because it is transforming me. Based on the results, just take a look where I was and where that I am now. And you know what I'm excited about? What is it that's going to be next? Hence the name, the next. Allow the next of whatever it is that you see. Allow the next to become, to grow, and to transform your life into the person that you dream of being, of becoming. Embrace your weirdness. Embrace your dreams, and please, you might want to use one of these, but I'll show you how on the next video. So for now, I am grateful. I am grateful for you, lovers and haters, friends and family. do me a favor, click subscribe below, say that you like it here, and share if you can. I'm sure you might know one person or two that might think I'm completely nuts and be entertained for about 15 minutes. Anyway, thank you very much. I love you, and I will be back again with another edition of the Daily Art Drop. Talk to you soon.